Nkomyewo with Part Thursday. It have the subtitle Substitutes. In our lives, there are many substitutes that we put in rather than God. Omuntu ayinza kugamba nti nze instead y'okusaba Katonda nze amunkozesa gana amazzi ga mukisa gankolera. It means you have substituted God with that water. Now that water gakukolera. So here in submission, kwewaayo ku Katonda, the willingness of God, okwagala kwa Katonda. Osobola kukola okwagala kwa Katonda nga you are using other substitutes. Ekyo kibuzo kyange kibuzo kyo. Here, point gye nsanzeeyo mu Part Thursday. Submission of God's willing can be undermined as we rely on our own strength. Okwagala kwa Katonda. Okwagala kwa Katonda kuli underlooked, tekulabwawo ng'ogumidde ku mbeera zaffe zino z'obuntu oba ku maanyi gaffe gano ag'obuntu agatalimu Christ, agatalimu okusaba, agatalimu obwa Katonda. You get my point? 2. Many times, we depend on substitutes for God rather than, you get my point, rather than God himself. We depend in the water of blessings. Some of us will depend on our pastors other than God who created us. I saw it is so looking bad. The person who wrote this lesson, that God inspired this person to write this lesson. I think God have brought this lesson at the right time, because there are so many people who have pretended themselves as pastors, as prophets, as evangelists, but when you see their action, even others, they spit their salivas in people's mouths. Others, they beat the believers seriously. Others, they sleep on the believers. Others, the way they treat them, it is so bad. And in this Christian, they have put those substitutes. They have tried to believe in those people than even God who created them. It is so bad. Really so bad. So, 3 things we may use instead of God. We use human logic. Those are things we do use them. Or past experience when we need fresh divine revelation. 2, we block problems from our minds when we need divine solutions. We escape, that is the 3rd. We escape reality. Avoid God when we need communion with him for divine power. You need divine power. You need communion. But you avoid God. You avoid the truth. One will tell you what is in the scriptures. You see the 10 commandments. You don't follow them. You don't worship the Sabbath as God said it. You don't respect your parents. You abuse everyone you disrespect. You walk on a lying tongue, everything you lie. Those things. What are we focused? Where are we going? What can we learn from this lesson? We need the divine power. And you cannot get the divine power when you are substituting other people in your life than God. You cannot submit yourself to God. You cannot become an exemplary, as we read in Part Monday, where Jesus left all those things and he came as a man, suffered. He never lived even a peaceful life. Even he was in a bad life up to death, even the death on the cross. He submitted his life. We need to submit our life to. If we cannot hear these parts, like I have self-rely, substitute, we avoid those things, we get the willingness of listening how God calls you, and you respond and you avoid your things that you have been doing which are bad. If we continue with this wickedness like the sons or the two wicked sons of Eli, we are going to be punished. If we misbehave like how King Saul was given instruction and disobeyed them, we are going to see what happened to King Saul. You people, there are things that we don't mind about. We need the power of God. We should avoid substituting people. Like some of us we have put things like fornication into our lives. Fornication, prostitution, stealing, talking lies, bribe, jealousy, every source of evil, we have put it on our ways. The journey, if you see your journey of salvation to Christ, you're wicked and I'm wicked. We need to hear. We need to have the willingness of listening. We need to avoid these things of substituting other things into our lives. But we need to come back to our God. Please listen for this Bible very well. Read the scriptures. Hear the voice of God. Please, God is calling you. Don't say today. Don't say tomorrow. It's today, maybe the time for salvation. Let us go to Part Friday. Please subscribe if you need to get the truth of the Lord. Subscribe. I'm going to Part Friday.